Right, getting the white pieces, so it's time to try out the London system. The thing about like trying out slower time controls is not really a thing once you are getting close to like 2000. We tried a little bit of like, oh, by the way, he's playing Chigori into knights, bishop f5, so bishop outside the pawn chain, bishop b5 super strong. So the thing about trying to play longer time controls is really important. On a6 we always take. Just do c4 now. This is important idea. If you're trying longer time controls like 5-5, what we did earlier, you're no longer getting games. So that's the issue with that. But I think we're still doing reasonably okay with like 5 minutes games. As long as we don't lose like too many on time. By the way, my opponent is a 2000 that's allowing these. This usually happens even in my students' games that are rated like 1000 in Blitz. So it's like pretty funny to see. Okay, rook b8. Now I could take, but then queen d7 not so clear. Could start with 95, could also castle. I feel like something similar is given in the course, like maybe just 95 and then rook b2, knight c3. I just want to make queen takes on c6 in the strongest version possible. Now we just castle, like bishop b1, not a problem. Still he has no way to defend c6, so no need to rush with that. I think he's like really in a world of trouble now. Problem with moves such as rook b6 defending, it's always c5. And yeah, he just tries 94, but okay, look at this. I can already take this king to a walk. This can hardly be good for my opponent. I think definitely time to take. King e7 only move. And now the question is, how do we make progress? Obviously, if my queen was not there, we could fork on c6. Not so easy to achieve though. One way of playing this could be cd, ed, and then something like rook c1 potentially. Or like simply knight c3, you know? Okay, cd, ed, knight c3, like just developing. That's like the easiest. We don't even need to like win quickly, you know? This just loses to queen c7, queen f7, so he's forced to take back with the pawn. Then we just do knight c3, like knight takes, queen takes. Ooh, that's allowing a nice one, boys. Hope you spotted that in time. We can go queen takes, and we're gonna be getting the tactic that I was mentioning earlier, where we get to win the exchange. So getting the queen out of the way, so the knight can fork the enemy king and queen. We end up giving up queen and knight for queen and rook, so definitely a positive trade. Taking another pawn, just need to make sure he's not like trapping my pieces somehow, but I don't see it happening. And now it's just a question of finishing development, which can be done with rook c1, knight c3, but maybe even simpler f3 to get rid of his knight so we can finish development. Can just do even knight d2. Knight c3 is more natural, but maybe some knight c4 could be annoying. So just, I mean, it's not really that important, frankly speaking, but I feel like knight d2 is a little bit nicer. Stopping knight c4 ideas. Bishop d3, hitting the rook, so just need to bring it to the game. Prefer the open file always. And b5 giving us a hook, but maybe b4 could be a bit annoying. So problem with b5, it's weakening c5 square, so I'm considering that, but then he wants knight c4. So maybe one idea would be to take and then bring the knight over. Also one move could be rook c6, which is double attack, which I think is in fact strongest. So now king d7, just pick up the pawn. King d7, also rook c1 is a move. Knight c4 takes. Then knight b2, pick up the bishop. Yeah, I think I even like that. Setting up a small trick. Yeah, knight c4, we just take. Looks like knight c4 is clever, kind of trapping the rook and attacking the knight, but then we just take it. We got nice discoveries. Well, maybe I thought we've got nice discoveries, but even better to give the check first, covered by the bishop. Take. We can take, not necessarily forced to do so, but looks good. Then just rook a7, he's having a hard time developing. Takes with a bishop, just rook a7, hitting the pawn and keeping these ideas, making it very difficult for my opponent to develop. Bishop a3 would be one try, but that just loses to the nice rook c4 first, and then we check. So he's simply playing h6, I guess, preparing g5. Now, could try to bring my king closer to the middle of the board. g5, bishop e5. Hitting the rook. Rook g8 only move. And how do we make progress? Yeah, I'm gonna try a nice little sequence. So we're gonna give a check. Wait, what is my nice little sequence? Forgot the idea. Maybe there was no idea in the first place. Whoops. Okay. I mean, check is fine. He's now like pinned forever. Now we just need kind of an open file though. So maybe a4. Should be pretty strong. He cannot take as bishop hangs, and the idea is to take, and then if he takes back this way, we have rook a1 and rook there. So no threats, because we just take back with the g-pawn. And now this is coming over, and he's almost getting mated. Like almost. It was really important to activate rooks. I would like to make rook f8 work, rook g7. King h5. Where is the checkmate? Is there a checkmate, guys? Like, that's a bit of an unnecessary line, but I would really love to make this checkmate work with rook f8. Maybe just fg. And then king g3. Rook f8 should do it. Yep. Now, big threat. h4, g5 next. Yeah, okay, just rook f8, and we're gonna get a pawn checkmate, so let's get some energy in the chat. Gonna get rook g7, and then king h6 only move, but then we do get a nice final touch with a pawn checkmate. So, managed to end the game in pretty stylish fashion. Alright, I'm curious what the game review was. It's simply that opponent got a very bad opening. So we managed to score a 90, so pretty solid game overall. But just that the opening was really not great for my opponent. Can't believe people at 2K Elo play Chigori. Yeah, it's not very common actually. But you still need to know how to deal with it. Okay, going for a new game. Getting the white pieces. So I'm gonna be trying another Little London. So when they start with a d-pawn, we prefer the knight. Against anything else, we start with the bishop. So looks to me it's gonna be a Slav. Now it's either bishop f5, bishop g4 Slav, or three pawns like the triangle. But plays the move g6, and this is now trying to kind of get it back into like Grunfeld territory, which definitely we could answer by playing c4. Could also just do knight bd2 c3 kind of stuff. So I know c4 would be the best. Just gonna play that. And yeah, just gonna follow it up with positional play. I for a second I consider playing like c3, knight d2, knight e5, bishop e2, h4. Like playing for aggressive setup. But I feel like this is definitely more annoying for our opponents. Just play it slow. Do you think getting a chessable course is worth for me as a 900 elo player. Depends on what course you get. You know, there are like many courses out there. So, okay, rook to e8. I think just bishop e2. I don't think e5 is something we should be afraid of yet. Whenever they do knight d7, we have cd5 as a strong move. Okay, so knight e4. His idea is if I take knight e2, he wants e5, but we don't have to rush with taking, so I think we can just castle. Knight c3, pawn takes. Just improving my structure. Idea next would be something like takes and c4. So he plays knight d7, which is sort of allowing exactly that. I mean, he's just eyeballing that e5 push, as you can see. But I think cd and c4 is opening up the position in time. Because now e5, there is de, and he has issues with the pawn. Yeah, I think this is just not in time for black, because we can exchange everything, and he's got this problem with the pin. So my rook is hanging, so just need to trade, and after rook e5, if I go cd, he just takes and he's fine. But I have bishop f3, annoying move. Putting pressure on this because the pawn is pinned. Now if bishop e6, then queen d4, his rook is kind of iffy there. And I think we just win a pawn, so he like tried so hard to open it up and get this break, but this clearly shows why trying to do these things as black when you start down a tempo is definitely very risky, because we just end up winning a pawn since we're just much faster with development and he's getting into these concrete issues. So for black, he had to definitely play it a bit slower than what he ended up doing. Now d6 looks very strong. Queen d4, yes, queen d6 setting up a bit of a blockade, so d6 feels strong, opening up bishop's path and preparing queen d4 with a tempo and rook fd1 next. So wait, am I also doing same mistake that he did? Now like queen d4, rook e6, and my pawn's not so easy to protect, but I think we should be fine still. Like rook fd1, and if rook a8, at the very least when he takes on d6, I will have pawn on b7, but also watch out. So rook fd1, now the problem with rook a8 is that a7 hangs, so he cannot even do that. I mean, he can, but he's losing another pawn. Also, g4 comes to mind, and the bishop is not having so many squares, but there is simply bishop c2, so that's not good enough. Maybe e4 is stronger, yeah, and now we just win a piece, perhaps. Because bishop has no squares, even better than g4, so... Taking a7 was winning, but this is just winning piece, so... As bishop h3 is sort of only interesting idea, but gh kind of finishes the game. Rook d6 just trade and go for the endgame. So he takes 2 pawns, but shouldn't be good enough. Maybe even easier was just to go queen a7 and play endgame with extra 2 pawns, but taking the piece cannot be a bad idea either. Or he's just having concrete issues. So he finds these, but just take. And I have bishop g4 as a threat, or even e5 to keep the pawns together. Expecting now, okay, rook e5, just say thank you for the rook and move on with next game. If he plays rook e8, I think he might even just sack the queen, so get an easy win. So I think this was like pretty straightforward. It's just that his e5 push was not in time, it feels. We can have a quick game review and see what the computer thinks about this game. We got a 93, so nothing special, just solid game, punishing his mistake to open it up in the center early on. Okay, jump into the games. You guys let know other viewers about our beautiful Discord server. So, alright, getting the white pieces. Gonna be opening up with d4 and just, yeah, trying out a little London. When they start with the knight, we play bishop f4. Just a reminder that when they do the pawn, we start with a knight, and against anything else, we do start with a bishop. So that should make it pretty easy to remember. Now against e6, both knight f3 and e3 are playable. The e3 move is keeping options to meet b6 with queen f3, which could be interesting. However, it's not really something that I recommend. But I'm just gonna start with e3, keeping an eye on the h5 square, so we don't really have a knight jump. Not that it was particularly scary. We're gonna play like knight f3 anyways, and most likely it ends up being a transposition, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, just gonna go knight bd2 next. That is kind of the plan, and yeah, probably follow it up with c3, bishop d3, short castle. Okay, we see b6 move, meaning that he could potentially be playing for bishop a6 still. Therefore, I will delay the move bishop d3 for a little while, because after bishop a6, he gets a pretty nice trade and I have to move the bishop twice. So I would like, if possible, to let him play bishop a6 so I can take in one go. This way, saving a tempo. It is not something very common because most people play bishop b7 anyways. But when you're gonna reach like, let's say, higher rating, they will start trying out this bishop a6 kind of tricky ideas against you. So goes bishop e7. Knight h5 is an idea, so I'm gonna play h3, still waiting for him to go bishop a6 so I can take. But because he's playing it in this way, it's kind of an indicator that he's waiting for me to move the bishop. See, most people would have played bishop b7 if they were yeah, actually trying to do that. So I'm gonna go a4. Idea to still meet bishop a6, I think, with bishop b5. It's a pretty nice trick that I think it's also mentioned in our little London course. So that's a pretty cool one to have in mind. I actually won some easy games from that position, but plays with d5, which is pretty interesting. Like, still keeping that idea in mind, and now I'm kind of starting to run out of useful moves. I think c3 is one of them, but then he wants, yeah, I don't know what he wants. He could go back into like bishop b7 type of lines where I think we're gonna go bishop d3. And if it really depends whether he's gonna play with knight bd7 or knight c6, but it looks like he's going for something different, which I'm not actually like very familiar with. What's this like really trying to achieve? I don't really get it, to be honest. Could try to be super subtle, play bishop h2. Could do bishop d3, but he will go there. I could then try to keep, but then I'm not gonna be able to castle. Still, is that like such a big problem? I don't know. I'm gonna go bishop d3 and I think we try to keep. Like, trading is fine, just playing some kind of an equal position, but I'm more of a fan of playing it for the attack. Like, trading is, of course, reasonable. Nothing wrong with that at all, but I feel like this could be potentially a bit more interesting. It might also be the move that gets me in trouble, but we'll see. So just knight c6. Now I had in mind some knight e5, but maybe that's giving me a bit of a weak pawn. Will he be in time with takes and yeah, like d4? That's something I would be a little bit worried about. So maybe you shouldn't rush with yeah, knight e5. I'll just play h4. I feel like it's a useful move. And kind of waiting a bit. Now we see f5. Against that, usually g4 is the break, so I think we just start with it. fg, knight g5. I think wins back the pawn with a nice initiative, and otherwise want to take and open up the g file for the rook. Happy that he takes. Now get in this move. Maybe I'm kind of underestimating e5, but there's bishop h7, and wow, he plays this move. Defending, but giving up on e6, so that is a pretty bold decision or a complete oversight. So you guys, yeah, decide what do you think it was. I'm gonna take. Magnus played at London recently, won with the kingside passed pawns. Wait, can you actually send me that game, guys? I haven't really been following, but that's nice to hear. Showing some redemption to the London. Not that it needed any, but you know. Still flexing on the London haters. Always nice. Always very nice. Okay, I'm just gonna play a weird move now. just because I'm a weird guy. I'm gonna go queen b1, preparing bishop f5, and this way, I feel like my bishops are pretty strong. And yeah, can try to make use of that. It's a bit of a weird position since it's hard as white to castle anywhere. But what happened exchange, so this much I know. In case you guys had the feeling that I had some deep understanding of what is going on, I will just tell you to relax and yeah. Sorry to disappoint, but I only know that we're up on exchange. It's that much I know about the position. The rest is like a complete mystery still. I mean, I would assume we should be doing fine with the extra exchange, but position is definitely still quite messy. We see knight h5. That cannot really be a bad move. That's what I tell myself before I make a mistake. So instead, how about I learn and do something else? No, you know what? I'm gonna stick with my mistake. I'm gonna be consistent in my foreplay. It's better to be like consistent rather than playing good chess, right? This is like reminds me of the same question, whether it's better to have a bad plan, like no plan at all. I might have done a mistake, or yeah, I don't know. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this looks a bit scary. Might be completely lost there. Anyways, I was saying that there's this question whether it's better to have a bad plan, like rather than no plan at all, which I think it's not really true. Like I even recently watched the podcast with Lex Friedman and Magnus Carlsen, where Magnus said it was like absolute nonsense. I was kind of having like a similar opinion, honestly. It's not like my opinion matters or anything like that, but I had an idea like that. Okay, I'm just gonna do this, keeping the knight on the edge. Bishop back, allow knight f4. So I'm trying to play for that. And yeah, like Magnus said, it's absolute nonsense to have a bad plan. And I mean, they came up with this question because there was, yeah, I think Magnus said that a lot of players tend to, you just can do nothing and they tend to self-destruct, which I'm about to do in this game. So I'm human proof of that. Yeah, anyways, can we trap that knight? Probably not. Doing my best in trying to reach safety with my king, but will probably end up failing quite miserably, as usually happens. So, okay, we see a bishop there. I don't like this. It's becoming really messy. Gonna trade. Gonna play queen f5. I don't know what I'm doing, guys, so I'm just praying that I don't blunder one movers now. We're about to enter a time scramble. Maybe we can take there. Well, isn't it like a double attack? Maybe I'm missing something. Well, it's not a double attack. It's like queen protects it, obviously, but keeping an eye on like both pieces. He's gonna do rook e6, and I'm gonna do... Okay, knight f1 blunders the queen, so I shouldn't do that. Okay, I shouldn't blunder my queen. That's always a note that I have to myself. Still keep... yeah, making that mistake even nowadays. We got a little surprising move here. I think we might have catched him a little bit off guard. He thought he's getting us with a back ranker, but this much I am familiar with when it comes to the beautiful game of chess. More than that, not really sure. But I can spot a back ranker in a good day. I can tell you that, guys. Probably that's why you have already subscribed to the channel. If you didn't, I mean, shame on you. How wouldn't you subscribe to such beautiful content? I really don't know what you're doing with your life. So, okay. I know what I'm doing with my life. I'm gonna get a queen while trapping his knight. I'm gonna block that pawn, just making sure that it's not getting ugly. And we somehow magically managed to checkmate this guy. So, managed to get a game. The great can often be the enemy of good. Hey, KD learns. You used one of the traps. Dude, I saw your comments. Appreciate that, mate. I actually didn't check what the position was, but I'll actually tell you if the trap is good or not if you like show it to me. Forgot to answer that comment, but I very much appreciate it. It really gave like a warm feeling to my heart, you know? Even though I forgot to reply. That's something that I do out of like pity because I used to like text a lot of girls and didn't get a reply. So I kind of need to do that to my subscribers, just kind of not answer their comments. So it makes it, you know, a little bit easier for me. It's like therapy. So if you guys ever don't reply your comment on YouTube, that's the reason. So don't get mad. You're actually helping me in this whole process. All right, looks like we're getting the white pieces once again. So gonna open up with queen pawn, gonna get a bishop out, and we do see g6. Man, I mean, I would really love to play in some Java, but since it's not yet in the course, I'm gonna play the positional setup and see what this guy has in store for us. And it looks like it's gonna be a Grunfeld line. I'll do knight e2, and then I'll do e3. And I'm just hoping to go like bishop e2, knight e5, and get in some easy push with h4, h5. So just gonna do this, opening up bishop's path. So supporting the pawn push. If they take, we always take with the bishop, canceling the enemy fianchetto. Typical beginner mistake to take with the pawn against the fianchetto bishop because there is like no attack and the pawn ends up being weak there. Just plays knight b6, which I think is really a bit of a misplaced knight. Just gonna continue with my plan. They would normally block with h5, and this usually gives us a juicy square for the knight on g5. So remember analyzing some similar positions in the course against the Grunfeld. Goes knight e4. I think knight g5 is nice with the idea not to take with the bishop because of the fork, but with the pawn, we open up the h file, and then there is g4 idea to use the hook. So yeah, I think now we may have simply positional threat to take, and then he's gonna have a weak pawn on e4. And maybe also just, how about bishop takes on h5 is a good move. Just trying to brutally demolish black's kingside. I mean, surprisingly, that might work just because this knight is so dumb. Just because the knight is not in the game, bishop takes on h5 might actually be a threat. I mean, well, after that, that's speeding up the attack. So as I was saying, just don't do that because of the fork. Sure, there's knight g6. I mean, it's not that bad, but this is way more straightforward. Bishop takes on h5 a threat among the simple g4 push, and now it's really hard for him to get rid of my pieces. Now I can, for instance, take with a pawn because it feels like it's kind of shutting down his bishop, and it's going to make it harder for him to generate counterplay with f6. But now you'll be super confused because I said we never take with a pawn. So this is a hard game, I know. I'm still trying to learn it as you do. So some of these things are a little bit trickier to explain, but I hope it makes any sense. Can we just go g4? I feel like that's a bit slow, like 95 pawn takes. Can he do queen c7? G takes, bishop e5, hg, bishop f4. That's like pretty messy. And not the messy that you guys like. Okay, this is like really making me think. Maybe it's like best to just take. And just go like bishop takes on h5 and just take a pawn and enjoy life, you know? Sometimes that's like good advice. Take the pawn and enjoy life. I think I'm just gonna start with it right away. And yeah, now taking with this is like, I think a good try trying to exchange fianchetto bishop, but maybe f6. Which, I don't know, could be like a little bit messy. Wait, I think we might have a nice tactic there, however. Yo, I think this might be actually good. I think he can escape it, however, might still be instructive. So I'm gonna take with this bishop just because I feel like f6 could lead to interesting play after bishop takes. Oh, he just takes, then it's probably gonna get mated quite easily because, well, he has kind of only moved now. Which I missed, but we're like just up a pawn. So yeah, I should have taken with the pawn so that he doesn't get king g7. King g7 is really like kind of keeping him alive. Maybe there's still bishop takes on g6, pawn takes, and then e6. Like a killer move. Yeah, I think we might do that. Just for fun, you know, why not? Maybe because it's losing, but I don't see it yet. There's like seems to be c5 only move to stop queen d4 in that position. I don't really see a way to bring the queen. Maybe queen g4. But then there's rook aj8. Yeah, that line doesn't really work for us. Okay, queen c7 should be... Suspect losing. There's like f4 easy move to just protect the pawn. Requires absolutely no calculation. Trying to make this fancy line work with like queen d4. Potentially threatening to swing the queen over. But then he maybe takes my bishop and not very clear. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it simple. Protect my pawn. And... You know... Ooh. Opponent showing some double attacks on me. Have to say I kind of underestimated this move. Maybe I just have to play king f2, queen takes, and king g3 perhaps. Could also come back with a bishop. Yeah, there I have bishop e2, and then as long as we double up on the h file, that's mate. So just gonna bring this guy back. Okay, maybe I actually allowed bishop g4. But I feel like even the endgames are problematic for him. He's close to getting mated because of these pawns even in the endgames, and I think now like easiest is either rook h6 or rook h4. Do we potentially need the rook on h4 for anything? I don't really see a reason why. I'll just go over h6. I mean, that could stop some bishop g4 moves, I guess. But I feel like I'm going a little bit too deep with this concept, so... yeah, anyways, I'm gonna do it to h4. Now, simple threat, bring the queen, and that's close to mate, so let's see how he wants to stop it. Oh, that's a move to stop it. Yes, of course. I completely missed it. How do we actually mate him? That's the question. So check on h6, king e8. I can go rook h8, probably force a trade. He goes king d7. Ooh, we've got a queen. This is actually gonna be so beautiful. Oh my god, guys, you're gonna love this. I'm telling you. You can actually start with that move. Maybe that's even more cunning. Threatening queen h6. Yeah, that's just deadly. Wait, that's like even... It's simply winning the rook. What am I like even watching? Yeah, that just wins. Wow, that's beautiful. I didn't think it was like that simple, but rook h8 he actually has no escape. I actually saw a line where my queen was getting there, his king was getting on d7, and I had e6 move checking and winning the queen, but I guess we don't even need that, so I'll take that. Looks like the h file is gonna, you know, turn out to be useful for something. Who would have thought? I think definitely the execution could be improved there, but yeah, I don't mind as long as we can get in this win. I'm gonna throw in the check. His king has to move. Then we pick up this rook. He's gonna take my one rook from a1, but as far as I can see, that is gonna be a checkmate. So I can take the pawn on f7, but that one's even nicer. So get a pretty nice final picture because he didn't get to move these pieces. So managed to get the game in. Can we actually have like a game review? I'm curious. It felt like pretty bad, but maybe it's better than I think. So yeah, looks like we got a 93. I don't know really if it was that good. To me, it felt like yeah, it wasn't as straightforward, but maybe we haven't like missed much counterplay along the way. So well, we played like 3 brilliant moves apparently. Wait, guys, shall we like use that as a... I just see a perfect opportunity to use it as a clickbait title on YouTube. We just played 3 brilliant moves. So Do you see these? So we had like 3 brilliant moves, guys. Wait. 3 brilliant moves. Yes, you see it here. That's a nice one. It is probably just hanging bishop for a few moves. Oh, come on, don't ruin it. You're just jealous because you didn't get it. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I get you like are, disappointed for not getting it in your game. My thumbnails have been fire. Well, I'm glad you say that, KD, but my click-through rate has been like so ass. Dude, it's so bad. Have no idea. My last thumbnail got like 4% click-through rate. It's so bad. I don't understand something. Got a 94. Well done on that, en passant, Rus. By the way, guys, if you've got any new viewers, feel free to join the Discord. We just, customized it. So link is in the chat. I see no reason why not to join it if you're like a true fan of the channel or just want to hang around with smarter people than me. So bishop takes on h5 was brilliant. Bishop takes on e5 was good. f4 was brilliant, apparently, hanging the bishop. King f2 brilliant again. Bishop e2 not bad. Yeah, he had to go bishop g4 here, and it was like, yeah, getting it to the endgame. But this is what I was kind of discussing about, guys. So I was trying to say that I don't think black is like safe in this endgame because, well, he's in time with king g7. But say he does nothing, he's like almost getting mated. I mean, he's not really getting mated. What am I talking about? Hey guys, I don't understand chess. That's confirmed. I thought we were in time to like mate him there, but we're not. So I guess I'm still like pressing here, but not very clear. Like king d3, e4, try f5, f6 maybe, but easier said than done. Thank you for that, Katie. You too, buddy. You've got good content. So if you guys are not aware, Katie learns for the best TikToks of all time, better than Gotham Chess. I said it. You can clip it. I'm playing the French as black and fancy a change. Get that car course out. Well, I didn't tell you guys, but yeah, the Karo course will be out in like April or something. So April next year will be expected releasing day. Karo can transpose into a French except without the bad bishop. Well, Jonathan knows best. Our 2105 Lichess player from the chat. Oh, he's 1000. All right. Gonna go easy on him. I'm gonna actually play like an actual 1000. All right, let me do the London system. Ooh, he attacked b2. How about I protect? How do I want to protect against him? He's got a sneaky little setup for our London. All right, I can respect that. I know how a 1000 would protect the b2 pawn. I wanted to play a good move though. That would have been so much pain if I actually play that. We'll just play a little endgame. I'll tell you a strategy, guys. Against lower rated players, always go for the endgame because they just blunder their pieces into the endgame, okay? It's proven by science. Not a 1000 who has his London Chessable course. That's a smart guy right there, so. By the way, guys, I should actually, spam you with the Discord link like one more time before we go. And join it if you haven't already. We never play b3 in the London course. Yes, I made the Discord like yesterday. Oh, by the way, I lose 16 points with this game if that happens. However, against somebody from UK, you cannot really lose. So I'm just gonna bring my knight. Gonna give little check just to be annoying. Gonna go knight back. Hot of the press. Yes, I like that. I like the way you say it, Katie. It's very hot. Just like the owner, so you can use the Discord. Link is in the chat. Queen b3 and black plays c4. Would you exchange? Well, my point there was to mate c4 with queen c2. Endgame was not like great there. I would do like, let's say, endgame if, let's say, okay, let's not get into that. It's a bit more complicated than that. The king should get, the thing is, none of my commands are working, Katie. So if you do whatever, commands are broken. But anyways, this is more of like a chill zone here on Twitch. So we don't have like commands or such things. It's just kind of a Wild West around. Just feel free to spam your weird links and stuff because they're not gonna get banned, but please don't do that. So, okay, just gonna move my knight. So, by the way, guys, I think this is last game of the stream. As long as you don't give me like $1,000 to play a game against you, I think that must be it. About 1,000 Monopoly dollars. Yes, if you pay the shipping, that's fine. Not gonna be cheap shipping though from Canada to Bucharest to Romania. I know somebody asked me if I'm living in Romania and I forgot to reply. So yes, I live here still. All right, just exchange everything and should be a walk in the park. Oh, that's a free knight. Gonna take these. I'm gonna bring the knight over. Give a little check. All right. Many moves. How about we check this? Then this. And then that. And then guys, I'll teach you like the ultimate way to win this games. Okay, no, that's bad. I was thinking about like sacrificing my rook, but how about we don't do that? How about we just don't? Okay, let's make it this interesting. Ooh, opponent, I'm scared. Starting to play fast. Okay. Might have got the beads on, so we need to speed up. Okay, 1 second. 4 seconds for me. Almost flagging. Oh. Right, that was really close. Good game, opponent. So, yeah. What was the mistake, you may be wondering? The mistake was that you started the game, but besides that, well, to be honest, CD, I don't really get that move. I would have expected you, if you go for this setup, to play c4, but white is still doing well. So this early queen move is not the best. But yeah, I would recommend, like, if you watch my YouTube videos, like a setup with this pawn back and 2 knights and then queen b6, that might be a little bit better. But Yeah. Mm, all right, guys. So I think that was basically it for the stream. So thanks for hanging out. One last call. Join the Discord if you haven't already. And yeah, see you around. Thank you.